Melvine Thogo is a third-year university student from the University of Nairobi's School of Law. She joins us in the studio because she wants to be the president of the University of Nairobi Students Association. Melvine, welcome to Kenya's Biggest Conversation.
Thank you, Latif.
That is called a hot seat. That is basically just where you're going to have some good time for the next 1 hour as you take us through the entire process of elections at the University of Nairobi, the Students Association. You'll tell us about the candidates and why the politics are heating up so much this time of the year in that university. So let's start. Third year student at the UoN School of Law. Mm-hmm. And you're also the Secretary General of? Faculty of Law or School of Law. Uh-huh. Yeah. What does that mean? What is the Secretary General? What is your job as Secretary General?
As Secretary General, famously known as SG or Madam SG, I'm basically the the student spokesperson. In other words, we'd call it the comrades parrot. Uh-huh. We are known to be the voices. We speak. We are very loud. We are always up and down, running to tetea or to advocate for the students. We are always, like SGs are associated with anything vibrant. Like we are not the laid back kind of people. So for me, that also means a big thing. It's also a very, very political position. And it means that if they trusted you, because as we vie in teams, if they trusted you to be in that position, then it means that they actually value you very highly. And they think that you are this person who cannot be contained. Even though I'm governable, that's not to mean that you're ungovernable, but it's that position where you tell us the way, you show us the way.
Okay.
Though it's not the highest, because above me there's the chair and the vice chair. But this position, according to the constitution, we are supposed to just do a few things like keep files, keep minutes, and maybe an admin position. But the way it's always been handled, this is the person that goes all out for this team.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said you vie in teams?
Yes.
Please explain this to us.
Well, we do not vie individually. Like you'd say, I'm vying for Secretary General. Even if you say that, you still have to be aligned to a team. It's more like, let's say, a political party. It has a name. For example, right now I'm under ticket called Team Melvine. Mm-hmm. So in Team Melvine, you have to, if they elect Team Melvine, they have elected their chairperson, vice chair, secretary general, treasurer, sports representative, special needs, and international student.
So you campaign as a block.
Yes,
so
we
you're
campaign
going to
as
have
a block.
A group of you coming together and saying, there's 6 of us, we are going to run for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you're going to elect us, you're electing us together.
Yes.
So it's not like we're going to elect an SG from this block, president from this block, like that.
Yeah. So you do not elect, like, for example, right now I want to go for the presidency or the chair. According to the constitution, it's the chairperson's position. So you will not give me another secretary general from somewhere to work with. Once you elect me, I have aligned the team where I have the chair, I have a vice chair, we have a secretary general and all the other positions. So you elect us, you've elected even the people I have chosen to work with. Yeah. Okay.
But they don't have to compete.
Who?
Campaign.
We have to campaign.
They're
the members, the Secretary General, candidates, blah, blah,
Vice Chairman.
Yeah, but you see, even as we campaign as a block and as we form these coalitions, we call them coalitions and teams, you also have to, there's someone somewhere who also wanted to vie, maybe as the chair, and then now you compromise, you say, I've got the numbers or because of this. I mean, you come to the table and negotiate why you should be the chair, the other person should be the Secretary General or the Vice Chair.
So it's coalition building. Basically, it's forming a coalition.
Yes, and you see, like right now, whoever is going to be elected in this position is representing all the 13 electoral colleges. So then it means the 7 people in Team Melvine have to come from we can't come from just the same faculty.
Hold. We've entered electoral college zone. Okay.
Would you like to be taken back a few steps?
We will get there.
It's okay. We can go back.
Let's get there in due course.
Okay.
Let's first of all understand the teams.
Okay.
Teams are these grand coalitions.
Yes.
And the grand coalitions, there are several. How many positions are there?
There are 7.
Okay, so
There's
7
the-
positions.
yes.
There's the chair, vice chair,
Secretary General,
secretary general,
Treasurer,
treasurer.
Sports and Social Welfare Representative,
Right.
A student representing international students, and another student representing students living with disabilities.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those 7,
Yes.
and then you have different teams with those 7 candidates in
Yes.
each team.
Yeah. So each team has to have all the 7.
Okay.
Yes.
So just like the big coalition.
Yes.
And in this coalition of yours, you have had negotiations on now, okay, we had signed an MOU the last time I was going to be now from Secretary General, you're going to support me to become president.
Yes.
Mimi Siwezi, I would be the most stupid person
Person to ever support you
to
for the
support
third time.
Melvin for a third time. Those kind of conversations are what you have.
Yes.
And then you sign a coalition agreement.
Well, yeah. I don't know if people actually sign like the signing, the practical
gentleman's
signing,
agreement.
but we always agree. Because right now I'm going to someone and I would even tell them, because maybe you have another chance and this is my last bullet. I'm going to be graduating in the next 1 year, so I do not have another chance.
Risasi ni moja.
Yes, risasi ni moja. So you still have, you're maybe in second year, so you have another chance. So I tell you, Latif, please let me go this time for the chair, be the Secretary General as you learn, and then next time, because I will still have my numbers and my resources,
give you.
next time I'm going to support you. And guess what? We also break those.
Of course.
I mean, this is my second time here, right? So I know that we break those. It's typical reflection of what is happening right
That was
now.
my question. So now, at the university level, so this is a splitting image of what is happening at the national level.
Yeah.
So do we then say that what's happening in this grand national politics, you guys have started breeding it here?
It's happening, and I think I'm enjoying it. No, I'll explain that.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it because you see, it's not a child's play anymore, because now I'm learning and I'm thinking, if the next 5 years I'm going to be involved in national politics, then I have to also learn from here. So you see, for us, these are people above 18 years. They would want to be in the national politics. Maybe just resources don't allow or something like that.
Yeah.
So we are doing it. We are practicing it here. Whatever you see outside there, the numbers, the resources, how we mobilize and how we collect our funds, it's also happening here. So it's not like, what would I call it? It's not a skit. We are not playing
not
a skit.
rehearsal.
No, it's not rehearsal. We're actually doing it.
This
Yeah.
is real life politics.
This is real life. The way you hear that, someone will say that yesterday, I don't want to use a politician, but you'd hear that yesterday someone from ODM or maybe UDA came and threatened me to join or something. It still happens today.
So it's still happening even at the university.
Yeah, or they sent me money so that I can support this candidate. It's still happening.
So we have mass defections.
Yes.
A big blow to Melvin Thogo as so and so defects.
Yes. or maybe you had in the run up to now the elections, maybe before the nominations, before you actually published that you're in this team, you could defect anytime. So you would hear that the strongest person in Team Melvin was maybe the vice chair, and now she's defected, he or she has defected, so then it means it's a big blow to her team.
Sure.
It also happens because also right before the publication, people would be trying to also buy my team members, or I buy their team members, or they actually buy me. You know, they could actually buy
Buying money or buying what?
Yes, there's money and there's also promises. Well, some people actually have the money to.
What's the going rate?
Me?
If say I want
For
to be-
you?
let's- no,
Well,
no. That would be an unfair question.
Right.
Let's say I wanted to be bought. Okay?
How much should I ask for?
For yes.
It depends with where you are.
It depends on your value.
Yes, these are also students, so you can imagine. These are students, you can imagine. It could be 100K, it could be 50, it could be so much. I don't want to say a million, but it could be. Like, there's that, and also there's the promise of, like, there's so many promises. The same way you see people promising each other there that, what happens now when we get into government? You're also looking at, if I go under this person, maybe if we get there, we'll just be there. But this person is more promising, you know. So there's also that.
How do you raise your money? Because clearly from what you've said, there's a serious implication that these campaigns require money.
They do.
How do you raise your money?
Like I said, it's not a rehearsal. We're actually doing the real politics. So for me, I'll speak for me. I'm always working. I'm always doing something. Yeah. So I'm a hustler. And then also there's friends, family. And also just raise from people. Like right now we have national politics.
Yeah.
Those politicians are looking up to us to also support them, to mobilize for them. So invite them. let
they-
them help you.
So you have a fundraising pack, sort of, where you
Yes.
there's a way in which you raise funds.
Yes,
from
yes.
friends, from well-wishers, from supporters,
You're also
from politicians.
Yeah, and like for me, I knew that I was going to do this. So I've also been saving up for it to do it.
Is it worth it?
It is worth it.
I mean, you've served as SG now.
Yes, you see
If you look back and see how much money you contributed to the kitty for team whoever was the president, actually it's outgoing president, you were in that team. So how much money you contributed to that kitty and what you've done, is it worth spending that money?
previously when we were vying, we didn't use so much money. It was the first online election. Everyone was home. That was in 2020. Everyone was home. So basically, whatever we needed the money for was to buy bundles, airtime for our bloggers. So we didn't use any. I wouldn't say, because it was faculty level, I don't think any of us used more than 250,000.
Okay.
But now, but also, I am where I am today, and I have done so much for myself and for students because of that position. So in as much as you're using a lot of money, which maybe sometimes you would say that you don't have or you've raised from different people and different sources, I think it is all worth it. Again, this is an individual calling. Just because somebody else was in that position and maybe you don't see like it really helped them does not mean that you can't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a question that would be asked of anybody who wants to run for any kind of political office. And is why would you want to be the president at the University of Nairobi? Why would you want that? The glamour, of course, is one thing, because we see national politicians today who have been presidents at the University of Nairobi at their time. Why do you want this position now?
There's the aspect of preparing. You're preparing for something greater, but that is personal. And then there's the aspect of what have I been able to learn? Because for me, when I'm going there, I'm not going there with an illusion of this is what you can do. I'm going there with the knowledge and facts that this is what's out to be done. It has not always been done, but now I need to do it. It is also, I'm looking at the welfare of our students. I joined university in 2019, and a few months after joining, we went home because of COVID. So a lot has changed. The needs that we had probably in 2019, they've probably advanced to now because of online and virtual operations. So now you're also looking at, am I in a position to change and to transform the lives of these students as we continue with this? Because I can assure you that we are never going to fully be physical. And that is not just from the admin side, but even students, some of our students are telling us, we are actually comfortable with online learning, so we want it to be an option as well. So you also thinking, a lot has happened. There's COVID, people have been affected. There's university fees going up. There's help is not consistent anymore. So you are like, at some point I was like, should I sit this one out? And then I was like, no, I don't think there's anyone who's got the best interest to address these issues. And I know that I can do it. I know that I have all it takes to address these issues.
I'm very interested as to how. I'm very interested as to how, because the things that you've raised are intricate issues and they're serious. I mean, we saw last year when there was talk of just the fees coming up, and then it became a thing. We were looking at fees doubling, and then the help conversation whereby help doesn't have enough money. It's not political.
Yeah.
It is the truth that help doesn't have enough money to disburse. There are those who have defaulted in terms of repaying their loans. How would you address such an issue?
Yeah, and I actually want to say that politics will end in a week's time. We'll be elected, we'll have a government, and politics will end there, because now after the elections we now get to the real work. So then you want to address these issues. For me, it's apart from public and private bodies partnering to bring this issue to at least to help, how else can you address them as a student leader? Who can you approach? Because it also matters. And how are you approaching them? Because one thing is, you get there and then you meet people, like you want to go to parliament, you want to meet them, and then you forget why you are there. So that is one thing that you cannot forget. The core thing that took you there is what you cannot forget. When you're going to address this issue with the administration, don't go there like it's not about attention anymore. It's about how is this going to be a win-win situation for both of us? Because the admin will tell you that, we cannot be operating on a 2012 budget in 2022. So then you have to now think, how are we going to still in 2022, how are we going to still help the students who are here for them to be able to live well? Like if you have to increase the school fees because this and this has happened, is this reasonable amount to do it? Is this a reasonable way to do it? You do not come and like triple it. You do not come and like multiply it by 4, because you're also affecting the students who are coming in. You also have to understand, in as much as you as the school you need to run on this budget, these people these people that are affected, COVID has affected everyone. We have students who are not able to go to school. And then also, as private partnerships, can we also help these students to raise school fees? For example, University of Nairobi is known to have been, we've produced the best people. Right now, if you go to CEOs, most of the CEOs and most of these managers in offices, they come from the University of Nairobi. So if
Do you know why?
No, just a minute, Muga. So can we also bring these people, the alumni of the University of Nairobi, to be able to also sponsor some of these students? Because I believe if people who are in UoN law school, they come together and they say, we are going to be educating at least 50 lawyers a year. They can
have
do
their own scholarship fund kind of thing.
Yes, we are going to be, or maybe the School of Business, you're going to be educating 50 students per year. This is something that we can actually do. But it also... It is about how I'm going to address it, because sometimes also you go as a student leader, you go there, you get some of these funds and then you use it for your own needs. So the next time someone else goes there, they will not get
There's
it.
no trust.
Yes, they'll not get it. Or when they see a student leader, they see this is the face of chaos, or this is the face of dishonesty. But that is not...
What I wanted to ask you, Melvin, was this. These problems that leaders are supposed to solve for the student body that elects them, are you saying that the university is incapable of resolving these problems without your help?
They're not incapable, but are they centered, like, are their roles and responsibilities centered to do that?
Actually, yes. That is really what they're supposed to do.
But you also realize that these are individuals. I mean, these are people
Are they
and
motivated
personalities.
to do it?
Yeah, are they motivated to do it? Because for me, when I'm going there...
So you are the one who motivates them.
No, but you see, for me, I'm already motivated to do it. So
No. I'm agreeing with you. I'm simply looking at the role of the student leader, and I'm saying there's this thing that the administration is supposed to do, but they don't do it. So how do you get them to do it? That's where you come in.
Yes, that is why I come in. You keep reminding them.
Yes.
You keep writing to them plans of how you can implement this. Because remember, for them, they also run a certain business, and there's a reason as to why I am representing the students. Because now I can be able to tell my vice chancellor that I am a student. I relate to this problem, so this is what we need to do. More than they can relate.
Does the student body have a kitty? Do students contribute to a kitty that is recognized as being a kitty for the students' union?
Yes, we pay yearly. We pay some
Is
amount
it
of money.
mandatory or is it voluntary?
It's mandatory because it's part of the school fees, so you have to pay.
Why are you laughing, Sitting? Unaona pesa ikikulwa?
Mingi, because I'm actually doing the
Inagulwa.
arithmetic in my head and I'm thinking about the number of students that are in the universities here of Nairobi. How much do students pay?
We pay, it ranges. Government-sponsored students pay 500 shillings.
Per year?
Yes.
Okay.
The self-sponsored pay 1,000 shillings per year.
Okay. How many students are there in the University of Nairobi?
Quite many. I know you want to do the maths, but
I've already done the maths. We very rarely ask questions to which we don't have a ready answer.
What I can tell you is that there are millions. Like
The question I was going to ask next is, who uses this money and how do you go about utilizing it for the welfare of the students?
What's the money supposed to be?
Yes.
UNSA, as we call the student union, that is the University of Nairobi Student Association, gets a yearly budget.
Who decides on the budget?
The students and the administration. Both both bodies do.
Okay.
The admin will tell you, you'll go and give the admin, this is our budget, this is 50 million, this is our budget, and the admin will say yes, we can, or maybe you negotiate. So that is also where you come in. How are you able to negotiate? And are you able to question that, why do you want to give me 10 million and not 50 million? Where is the other money going? Because we know that students pay.
Walk us through what this money does for the students.
What it does for students.
Yes.
As you do that, because you're looking at 100,000 students. Now, let's just put the number out there.
Yeah.
100,000 students, give or take, at the University of Nairobi. Is this money yearly payment, or once you've enrolled at university, you pay your 500 or 1,000 shillings and then you're done until you graduate? Or is it a yearly payment?
It's a yearly payment.
Okay, now, 100,000 with this yearly payment, between 500 and 1,000 shillings, what's done with it?
So as a student body, like I've been here before. So this one you take it for student activities. We have monthly, we have activities, we have events that you're doing for students. These ones are meant, they're not, I wouldn't call them like entertainment. They're part of it, but there are also things like academics, academic activities and all that, mental health, like things that we do, events that we do for the students every month. At least every month we have an event. These events, the budget ranges from one event to the other. Last time the budget was sliced. It was really sliced. So we had like almost just 30 to 60K per event. But it should be more with.
Were the students given a rebate or a discount for the payments that they made towards this kitty? Was it slashed from 500 to 300 shillings?
Now that the budget
No,
was
it was
slashed.
not.
So the students paid the money that they normally pay, and yet the budget was slashed.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll start from that point where
Okay.
who's the custodian of the money? Okay.
Yeah.
And are there other things that the money should be used for by the school administration? Or is it supposed to be 100% for the use of the students under UNSA? UNSA presidential candidate, that's the University of Nairobi Students Association presidential candidate, Melvine Thogo, is here with us in the studio. She is a third-year student at the Faculty of Law. She's the Secretary General of the Students' Union of the Faculty of Law, but she wants now to rise and become the president of the entire fraternity of the University of Nairobi Students Association. She's telling us about that. We're just getting to understand the intrigues, the ups and downs, the games, the politics, the backstabbing and betrayals that happens in the campaigns for presidential elections at the university level.
This is the Situation Room.
The conversation continues. This is SpiceFM, broadcasting on around the country and also on social media, YouTube and Facebook, where we're live streaming the show. Melvine Thogo is our guest this morning. She is a third-year student at the University of Nairobi, wants to be the next president of the University of Nairobi Students Association. As we took the break, you were explaining to us, Melvine, about money. You know, money is always at the heart of everything. So every student mandatorily contributes towards a kitty that goes to students' welfare.
Yeah.
And this is then managed by UNSA
Yes.
in consultation with this university administration. Who keeps the money?
Well, the administration keeps the money.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is disbursed to the students' body when we need it on monthly or event based. Like they'll say maybe in the month of April we have this event, so we need to disburse this to every faculty. Every faculty is given their own money.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, once it is now disbursed, it's upon you, the student leader, or the team to take care of it. Now you be the custodian. So how you do the events, how you take care of the money is up to you. But you have to account for it at the end of the day. You have to take books, you have to take receipts to the admin and tell them this is how we use this money.
So the admin is basically here like, say, the control of budgets.
Yes.
UNSA is the representative body
Yes, to the students. Yes.
to the students.
Yeah.
And therefore it represents the population of the students. So
Yes.
you come up with a budget as UNSA and you
Yeah.
say, these are the events that we're going to have for the next 12 months
Yeah.
in these various university colleges and all. And then the budget is presented to the administration. The administration has to approve the budget.
Yes, the administration approves the budget.
And what's the procedure for approving the budget? I mean, what are they going to base it on? Is it the fact that you have overshot the budget or you have undershot the budget? What reason do they give for approval or rejection?
I've never had a situation where they say that you've undershot it, or that, this is too little, we are going to add you more. Mostly, like last time it was, this is too high, we are going to reduce it. So then it's upon the people who are elected to bargain and say that, no, because of this and this event, we cannot reduce it, or we want it at this.
Is there transparency as to how much money is available at the beginning of a year? Like, do you know? So this year we are beginning, balance brought forward plus opening balance is 17 million shillings.
You mean the money now?
Yeah, is there clarity? Like, do you know? Does the leadership of the Students Association know how much money is in the kitty?
No, most of the time we don't. We just give, let's say we give a budget of 50 million, and then they say this is too high or this is too low. I mean, no, they'll never say this is too low. They'll just say this is too high. So we need to cut it.
So there's opaqueness at the very beginning. You have members and you're not sure whether they've all paid. So you really have no idea how much money you actually have. So you're like the Kenyan government.
But this is the Kenyan government. I mean, this is a government body also. So it's the Kenyan government.
See, our Kenyan government
Yeah.
collects 1.7 trillion or thereabouts, and then proceeds to have a budget of 3.5 trillion.
Yeah.
Okay? Yours is worse because the understanding is that the money collected is what ought to be used.
Yeah.
You use what you have.
Yes.
But you don't even know what you have. It does make budgeting a bit tricky, doesn't it?
It does, and like I said, it also depends with the students who are there, because these are policies that you can pass. I mean, these are things that you can just go and tell the admin, we need to be, you can just have an MOU and you say, we need to be doing this. But if the people who've been there, they're not going to, they haven't done that. And maybe they also do not want to be transparent about, about how much they're being given. Because there's also a situation where the school the school will give the student body money, and they will not tell the students that this is what we have. They will try to hide it, So it means that even us, there's something that we are trying to hide. Another thing, they would give us money and then we do not use it appropriately. For example, you're given money and maybe instead of there are things that students need, like bursaries. Instead of you taking that money for other uses that might not quite benefit the students, why don't you increase the bursaries? Last time we gave, I think, 7-8K. So why don't you say that this time, let's slice something that is not really to the benefit of the students, and then let's give them 15K each, something like that.
On average, the faculty you belong to, how many students, for instance, receive bursaries in a year? Just on average.
Last time
from the funds that you people have.
Last time from the funds that we had, we gave 30 students per campus.
7,000 each.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say up until now, and it would seem as though I'm harping on this, but would you say up until now that these funds, which are available, we're not even asking about extra funds, these ones that are available, having been contributed by students, have been managed well?
I would say yes and no. Depending on, like I said, these funds are given to the faculty representatives,
right,
or the teams in the faculties and campuses. So then there's some, from my assessment, there are some people who manage the funds well. They were very transparent in how they use them. And then others, students were like, when did that happen? We didn't see an event happening. We didn't even hear about it. But all of a sudden, there's someone who's even taken receipts that this happened.
Right.
And it didn't happen. So it's a yes and no situation. It just depends with the representatives in all of those faculties.
And these representatives, are they under the authority of the chair?
Yes, they are under the authority of the council. So they are representatives at the faculty levels, and then there's going to be a council, which now I want to head. The council is in the council.
By virtue of one being the chair,
Yeah.
they are also heading the council.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, some of the issues that you had raised before, the rising of university fees, of tuition fees for students, we're talking about help being an issue. For me, if something as a fund, whereby I'm sure a lot more can be done with the monies that are available, can we start to look at external factors when the one that you have in your hand is not being administered or handled properly?
Yeah. We could start there, because another thing, if I'm heading a council that is misusing and embezzling these funds, how am I also going to ask people who are heading HELB or the administration
Exactly.
to also be accountable? Because they're also going, you see, the thing is, sometimes money, let's say money is exchanging hands, and I could know what you're doing, so you are unable to come to me and tell me I know what you're doing, you know. And when you start that, then you're actually going to lose it along the way, because now I'm trying to hide your secrets, you're also hiding my secrets. The thing I've always insisted on, even up to now, as we are forming teams, is we have to know what our place is. And our place isn't just being there and signing the budget. It doesn't end there. Our place is also ensuring that every month, every money that is devolved to those faculty units, they're used properly. And what kind of person or what kind of president am I going to be if I cannot maybe call the faculty of law representatives and ask them, you guys, you were given 60,000 for this event. We do not feel like you used it properly. So can you be able to account for it? You know? So it also requires that. But sometimes I also feel like, why can't you are a leader, why do you fear it's like the government, the president fearing the governor. Like, you cannot ask the governor what happened to this money, or the MCA what exactly happened, you know. And so even the council has to be very, very deliberate in how we are going to handle these things. In the admin, you're handling the faculty representatives as well.
Something that has always bothered me about this representation, student representation. When you determine the budgeting process, yes, you have staff members from the university, you have students working together. But what about the administrative setup of the university, say like the Senate? Are the students represented?
At the Senate? Yes, they are. We have student representatives at the Senate. So this time, this is the first time we are going to have elections under the restructuring. Previously, we were dealing with colleges and campuses. Right now, we are dealing with faculties and maybe 3 campuses. So every faculty will have a Senate representative. So that means the Senate is going to have 13 students representing every electoral college.
So when you talk about representation, how do you determine this? Like, for instance, you as chairman, will you be in the Senate?
Well, I hope I will be, and I want to be.
Who decides who?
Last time, what happened is that the administration actually decided. Hold on. This is what happened.
Right.
There was the governors, I think the chairpersons of the faculties elected, like they appointed some members, or they appointed themselves to go to the Senate. And then I don't know what happened. I think there was an issue of tribe representation or something happened, and all of a sudden we had a list from someone who the people said it was not them who appointed. We had a list of other people who came in. So there's also that issue of, we do not want people who want to be noisemakers in the Senate and all.
That's important.
But I assure you that should I get elected, then it is going to come from us.
Then you'll take the noise up there.
It is going to come from us.
Are there levels of accountability once the student representatives are elected? Are there mechanisms for holding them accountable during their tenure, apart from the administration basically using them and using the power of administration to run the student? Are students able to raise issues that they have with their leadership?
Yes, they are, and they should be able to. But also there's the same way you'd elect your MP or your MCA and they never appear again. It's the same issue, that maybe you'd elect someone, they now start living outside the school, and then you'll never find them. You know, when you need them, you don't find them. You actually just see them on TV, you hear them on radio like right now or something like that. So it's the students to also hold us accountable, but with the help of also the council. Because the council should be able to tell the students that this month, these are the programs we have in every faculty. So your leader should be able to do this and this and this. And then from there, the students can now take it up. But if you don't know what's happening, every month, if there's no calendar, there's no one telling you that this is the amount of money disbursed to your campus, then how are you going to even start? You know? So it also begins with us. You see, these are also politicians. The same way we have national politicians, they are the same. So this detaching that you were elected and then 2 months, nobody sees you, nobody hears about you, but they hear that you took money and you did this and this. So it's the same thing. It's basically the same thing happening.
So what you're saying, in essence, this is a daunting picture, that the moment people get elected, essentially, they get elected so that they can work with the administration.
No,
And so they no longer represent the students.
no, Muga, I did not say that. Because it's not like they work with the administration. Even the administration does not know where they are, So it's not really about working with the administration. They actually, because I know that every other time we go demanding, we go knocking on those doors and demanding, we need the money. We need you guys to disburse the money. So what we do between now, after being given the money and and this
and
other
the
one is that. So
implementation.
so I will not say that they're going to work with the administration. And like I said,
So they
it's
work
also
for themselves.
and what I would say is also it depends. For example, at the School of Law, one thing I think I also learned from my chairperson was the fact that when the budget came and the calendar of activities, he said, so in this team, we have 5 of us. We were 5, unfortunately. The 5 of us are going to have to take roles. That you're handling this, you're handling this. So then we need to, because I know you will hold me accountable, I'll also hold you accountable that you are given this to do, Latif. What have you done about it, So at least it helps us to keep each other accountable. In other faculties, I cannot speak for them. Like that, because I also do not know. I wasn't part of them. But what I know is that it starts with the upper body. It starts with the council. How you deal with these things. Because now once the money is disbursed, you cannot bring the admin inside. You cannot bring the admin.
Actually, you can. Actually, you can. Because if admin are the ones who control the money, they actually control the process. There's no timetable which they must abide by, that by the 21st of March you must have given the money. They give you the money when they feel like.
No, I am
But
talking
once
about...
they've given the money.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Precisely.
once they
So
give the money.
Now, do you know the conversations they have with the people whom they're giving money? There's a point I'm getting to here. I'm saying the administration are the ones who are in charge. So, in essence, the leadership of the students are actually at the beck and call of the administration. Because if they don't, they don't disburse the money, what will you do?
Once the money has been disbursed.
No. If they don't disburse it, what do you do?
We always, like I said, we always go and ask for it. We always demand for it, So we do not just... because
you know, Mel, you know where I'm going with this. I want to explain this to you.
We don't sit and
If
wait.
somebody knows you need that money and they have it, and they can give it to you when they want, they are the ones who have the power. That's really what I'm trying to tell you.
True.
And it's not about...
So more or less, they can maneuver you in any direction they see fit.
True.
Yeah, that's...
So are you saying that the administration will then control even the lack of those events taking place?
Yes. I am saying we will give you even more money, but so long as you're the leader. Okay, they give you a bit. Say, we need more. Okay,
Just
now,
bring a receipt here. And
say,
there.
bring a receipt and do this, and then we also want you to do this. All I'm trying to say is the administration are more adept at this process. You people come in every year. They've been there for the last God knows how many years.
They don't go anywhere.
Yeah, they're the brick and mortar of the institution.
They're the ones that say Mel is here saying she's going to come and change things, and they're looking at you and they're saying, okay.
Okay, Mel, come.
Yeah, come. We are ready for you. But
So what can be expected? I think looking at the broader question here is that let's say that it is Mel now who sits in this position. What then can we expect, or what would you then see in terms of reform, in terms of changes at UNSA?
The one thing that I stand for is that do what you've got to do to get what you are supposed to get. If I am going to be there, I do not mind walking into an office every single morning just to demand for what the students are asking for, or to demand for what I think is best for the students. So when we have to also accept that sometimes methods change. Be flexible about the methods, but never compromise on the goal. If we are going to have, if you're going to sign something about how we are going to use the students' budget, then we are going to follow it up. Talk to the right people. Know who's going to help you, and also bring in something. Don't just come and talk and say, we shall not allow. This is what the admin ought to do, and this is what you're going to do. You also have to come up with a plan. Because I think last time also one thing that worked for us as the School of Law is we came up with different plans, that this is what we would like you guys to do. We also come up with suggestions. You have to understand where your power stretches, where your authority ends, and where it begins for you to approach these matters. So for me, it's about you have to understand why you're here, what you are supposed to do, and how to do it. And then every single day, think about what methods can work. And also, as Melvine, when maybe there's, let's use an issue of money. When there's an issue of money, can you also be accountable? Can you also use it transparently for the students? Can you also just do it right according to, like, be a person of integrity?
Can
do
you?
it right. Yes, I can. I have done it. Yes. So this is just me going to handle something bigger. But I believe that if I've been able to handle something that I could call small, well, then I can even handle this. But you cannot trust me to handle 50 million if I've not been able to handle 60,000. So I have done this. This is why today I'm here and telling the students that I got you and I'm a safe pair of hands. I can do this and I know how to do it, and we are going to achieve it. Because you also have to be very tactical, you have to work with facts. And it starts from you. Leadership starts from an individual deep down.
So personal conviction, and also then you, like you said, you have got to be street smart.
Yes.
You know, student bodies have always been seen to be at odds with the administration. Do they have to be?
Yes and no. Because we are going to collide at some point. So if I mean I've been coming to this office for 30 days and you guys are still not doing things right, or you're making decisions without the students, then we have to be. But it would actually work for the betterment of the students' body if we would come to you, you'd listen, and when you have things to do, you also call us and say, this is what we've agreed, this is what we think we would do. So we don't always have to be at odds. But again, if you want it, then we'll bring it.
You can serve it.
Yes. So
Now, take us through that whole process from this point on. You've talked about the electoral colleges, but before then, there are 4 coalitions. I'm just going to use them as coalitions. There are 4 coalitions so far that have emerged. Those could even merge into one super alliance or 2, right? So what happens after this point? What are the next steps?
Well, right now we are. I think we are going to be like 4 teams or coalitions, if we call them. So what happens? We have 39 delegates to deal with. Like, we only have 39 people to elect us.
Who elects the delegates?
The delegates are elected through a popular vote in faculty levels.
Okay.
Yeah. So through this, we are helping them. We are not just leaving them until now they get elected and we get the 39 to campaign to them. We are walking them through this process. We are helping them. It means that if someone
That
asks
means
you that,
you're picking your delegates.
yes.
Okay.
But well, I wouldn't say that, because actually you will be at risk.
Right.
So what you have to do is deal with all of them. For example, probably in every faculty right now, we're going to have 3 teams. It means you have to work with all these guys because you don't know who might win. So then you have to talk to all of them. You have to support all of them. Remember, by support, there is the issue of you help them form teams. You also help them financially. So for them, when we get there, and then you're going to campaign. So, yeah, we are waiting.
So you get your delegates elected by the various faculties.
Yeah.
And then they form the electoral college.
Yes.
13 electoral colleges times 3 delegates each, 39.
Yes, 39.
And those are the ones that will now pick.
Yes, those are the ones now we'll pick a suitable council for them.
Okay.
So your election is not universal suffrage.
For the council, it's not.
If you get your delegates, if you get your delegates game right,
Thanks to
You're
the,
sorted.
to the Duale bill.
if you don't
Yeah.
get your delegates game sorted,
You have problems.
No, yeah, like
Forget
seriously,
it.
it's even tougher. Because dealing with 39, it could seem like this is a
small number and manageable.
but these guys are very demanding. Because remember, if let's say at the Faculty of Law I have 3 teams, you know, I have to help all of these guys because I don't know who's going to win.
But I
I
thought
have
they're already students. What are you helping them with?
But I just said that campaigns and elections are about money and everything.
hey, Melvin,
And you can't pick that, no, Latif is my favorite candidate. No, you can't do that. You help all the, like, by the you guys are 3. So, so we assume there are 3 teams here. So I work with all of you
You
guys.
have to work with each
and
one
I
of us.
and I ask you that if you win,
even
please.
knowing that I'm your favorite. Anyway, Melvin Thogo, thank you very much for joining us. Melvin wants to be the next president of the University of Nairobi Students Association. She's currently the Secretary General of the Students Association at the School of Law, the Faculty of Law. It's an interesting one, this one. We wish you all the best, plus all the others.
Thank you.